Welcome back to InspirEclipses. Today, we're diving into the land of fairy tales, windmills, and Vikings. Yes, we're talking about Denmark. But hold on, this isn't your typical visit Copenhagen, eat pastries, and admire the Little Mermaid kind of story. Today, we're going to uncover the shocking and untold parts of Denmark's history. You'll be amazed, maybe even a little confused, but you'll definitely learn something new. So let's go beyond the cliches and into the real story of Denmark. First, let's get a little geography out of the way. Denmark is a small country in Northern Europe, part of the Scandinavian family, though they might not like to be called that sometimes. It's made up of the Jutland Peninsula and over 400 islands. But the real kicker? Only 70 or so of these islands are inhabited. So if you're looking for a private island, Denmark might be your spot. It's a flat coastal country with some of the most beautiful windswept beaches you'll ever see. But don't be fooled by the calm landscape. Denmark has a history full of surprises that could rival any soap opera. Now, when you think of Denmark, you probably think of Vikings. And yes, they were pretty hardcore. From the 8th to the 11th century, the Danish Vikings were out there raiding, pillaging, and establishing settlements across Europe. They even conquered parts of England and founded Dublin. That's right, if you're ever in Ireland, you can thank the Danes for giving Dublin its start. Who knew? But here's the untold part. Did you know that Denmark wasn't always this small? In fact, during the Middle Ages, Denmark was a huge empire. They controlled not only Denmark but also parts of Sweden, Norway, and even Greenland. Imagine a mini empire spanning the North Sea and beyond. That's one way to leave your mark. Here's something that might surprise you. Denmark was involved in witch hunts. Between the 1500s and 1600s, Denmark had its very own witch trials, much like the infamous ones in Salem. Thousands of women, and some men, were accused of witchcraft, often for bizarre reasons like causing storms or being too outspoken. One of the most famous trials even involved the royal family, who believed witches were cursing their ships. Talk about drama, medieval Danish style. Here's another wild fact. Denmark actually sold part of its territory in the 20th century. Yes, you heard that right. Denmark sold the Virgin Islands to the United States in 1917 for $25 million. So technically, you could say Denmark once owned part of the Caribbean. Imagine Danish palm trees and Viking beach parties. Here's another one. One of the most shocking disasters in Danish history was the Great Fire of Copenhagen, which broke out in October 1728. It raged for 3 days, destroying 28% of the city and leaving 20% of the population homeless. Surprisingly, the fire marked a turning point, as Copenhagen was rebuilt in a more modern style. Another shocking fact, King Christian VII of Denmark, who ruled in the 18th century, suffered from severe mental illness. His reign is infamous for his erratic behavior, including running through the streets of Copenhagen naked and engaging in self-harm. His illness led to a power struggle in the Danish court, with his physician, Johan Friedrich Struensee, essentially ruling Denmark for a time. Here's another shocking fact. In 1970, Copenhagen was rocked by a macabre scandal involving the theft of corpses from the local university hospital. Medical students were caught stealing body parts from the morgue to use in pranks and secret rituals. This shocking event led to strict reforms in how medical schools handled cadavers. Another shocking fact, in the early 20th century, Copenhagen's zoo had a controversial exhibit, a human zoo. In 1905, the zoo displayed 25 indigenous people from Greenland in an enclosure, as a means to showcase primitive people to the public. This disturbing practice reflects the colonial mindset of the time. Now, we can't talk about shocking stories without mentioning Denmark's role in World War II. In 1940, Denmark was invaded by Nazi Germany, and here's where things get unexpected. The Danish government, rather than engage in a long, bloody conflict, decided to surrender almost immediately. The occupation was mostly peaceful compared to other countries, and this move actually helped Denmark save its Jewish population. By 1943, when Nazi persecution intensified, the Danish resistance smuggled almost all of the country's Jews to safety in Sweden. It's one of the most incredible and heroic stories of World War II, and it's often overlooked. Denmark's ability to quietly resist the occupation while saving thousands of lives is nothing short of extraordinary. On September 19, 1944, during World War II, German forces launched a massive raid on the Danish police force. Known as Operation Mao, they arrested and deported almost 2,000 Danish police officers to concentration camps in Germany. This unexpected strike left Denmark without a functioning police force, leading to increased chaos and collaboration with the Nazi regime. Many officers died in the camps, and the survivors were only freed after the war. Denmark has a lot of fun and quirky traditions that might catch you off guard. For example, if you're single and turn 25, prepare to be covered in cinnamon. Yep, it's a Danish tradition to douse your single friends with cinnamon on their 25th birthday. Just a gentle reminder from your friends that it's time to settle down. If you're still single by 30, well, get ready for pepper. Another fun fact, Denmark is one of the happiest countries in the world. Could it be the pastries, the bike culture, or maybe it's their concept of hygge, a special Danish word that loosely translates to coziness. Whatever it is, the Danes have certainly figured out how to stay happy and relaxed, even during their cold, dark winters. These days, Denmark plays a quiet but important role on the world stage. It's known for being a leader in sustainability and green energy, thanks to their massive wind farms and dedication to reducing carbon emissions. Denmark is also one of the few countries to actively work towards carbon neutrality by 2050. Now that's something to be proud of. They've got their hands in global politics, contributing to peacekeeping missions and international efforts. Plus, Denmark is a founding member of NATO and an active part of the European Union, although they famously opted out of the euro. So while they may be a small country, their impact is anything but small. And now, the big question, should you visit Denmark? The answer is absolutely. Between the historic castles, the modern architecture, and the chance to bike around one of the greenest cities in the world, Denmark has something for everyone. You can soak up history, enjoy some of the best pastries on the planet, and maybe even experience a little hygge while you're there. Plus, where else can you experience Viking history, witch hunts, royal drama, and cinnamon showers all in one place? Denmark may be small, but its stories are larger than life. So there you have it, the shocking and untold story of Denmark. From Vikings to World War II heroes, this little country sure knows how to keep things interesting. If you enjoyed uncovering these hidden gems, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section. Tell me what you think about Denmark. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more surprising stories from InspirEclipses. Denmark may be cozy, but its history is anything but. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious.